The Boxer Rebellion, a violent anti-foreign uprising in China at the turn of the 20th century, marked a significant point of intersection for US-China relations. The US, already engaged in projecting its influence in the Pacific, joined an international coalition to suppress the rebellion. This intervention, while successful in quelling the uprising, left a bitter legacy in China. It, reinforced existing perceptions of Western encroachment and fueled nationalist sentiment. In the aftermath of the rebellion, the US articulated its open-door policy. This policy, advocating for equal trading rights for all nations in China, was presented as a means to prevent the colonization of China. However, it was also driven by a desire to protect burgeoning American commercial interests in the region. The early decades of the 20th century saw the US grappling with its role in a rapidly changing China. While maintaining a degree of engagement through missionary work and educational exchanges, the US remained, let's say, cautious about deeper involvement in China's internal affairs. The Chinese Revolution of 1911, which led to the overthrow of the Qing dynasty, further complicated the dynamics. It left the US navigating a complex relationship with a newly emerging republic. The outbreak of World War II brought the US and China into, an uneasy alliance. Both nations found themselves pitted against a common enemy in Imperial Japan. The US provided material aid to the Chinese nationalist government under Chiang Kai-shek. However, this support was often hampered by logistical challenges and strategic disagreements. By the war's end in 1945, a new world order was emerging. The US had risen as a global superpower, while China, ravaged by years of conflict, was poised for a new chapter. Yet the alliance forged during the war did little to bridge the fundamental differences between the two nations. The US remained wary of the Chinese Communist Party's growing influence. The Communists, led by Mao Zedong, were locked in a civil war with the Nationalists. The conclusion of the Chinese Civil War in 1949 with a communist victory marked a turning point in US-China relations. The US refused to recognize the newly established People's Republic of China and instead threw its support behind the nationalist government, now exiled to Taiwan. This decision honestly laid the groundwork for decades of hostility and mistrust between the two nations. The Cold War cast a long shadow over US-China relations. The US adopted a policy of containment towards Communist China, viewing it as part of a monolithic communist bloc led by the Soviet Union. The Korean War, which lasted from 1950 to 1953, saw Chinese and American forces clashing directly, further solidifying the divide. The US implemented a series of policies